New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
What's going on? This is Jay Ellis from the Nick of Time Show. Here, give you that Knicks talk just in the nick of time. And it's time to talk about this Knicks loss. The Knicks lose to the Denver Nuggets 115 to 132. Once again, these second unit, the bench struggles to get outscored 61 to 34 by the Nuggets bench. But we starting to see some signs of life from our starters. We have Randle, who gives us 28 also. He starts to shoot well today. We have Fournier, who scored 12 points in that first quarter. We have Taj Gibson, who was popping threes. And offensively, the Knicks seem to have together scoring 150 points on the night. But alas, they could not stop these rampaging Denver Nuggets. The Knicks have not beat the Nuggets, Ryan, since 2006, and the streak does not stop today with this next Knicks loss. 4 road games in a row lost, and the trade deadline looming tomorrow. The Knicks lose to the Denver Nuggets, and we are going to talk about it tonight. Before we talk about it, you already know what to do. I'm going to introduce my guy, the man, the myth, the legend, the guy with the stats and the facts.
Ryan G's in the building. Can't say I'm upset about this loss. I saw it coming from a mile away.
We all did.
Yeah, pretty much so. It is what it is. But I think the most upsetting thing is the fact that the Knicks are now 7 games under 500, and there seems to be no hope in sight, especially with the moves that were made today. So,
and the moves that were made include no moves by these New York Knicks.
Exactly.
And we're going to get into that, all right? But before we even get to that, please hit the like button, please hit the subscribe button, and also please share these videos with your fellow Knicks fans. You know what? I usually start off with Ryan G reading a bunch of the stats. You know what? Just go ahead. Read the stats. Go ahead. But I want to start off with something positive for once, but I don't want to break tradition. I'm gonna have Ryan G read these stats and the facts, because I know he prepared for it hard. So let's go ahead. Go ahead, Ryan G.
All right. Well, I'll say this: after they hear these stats, they're gonna need that positive news. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, the Knicks lost 132 to 115, led by Julius Randle, which he seems like he's finding his form from last year. 28 points,
right?
10 rebounds, 6 assists, 11 to 22 shooting from the field. So good job, Julius Randle. Evan Fournier had 21 as well. Evan Fournier has definitely turned it around since the start of 2022.
Mm-hmm.
RJ Barrett, 18 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, a little bit low on the rebound and assist numbers. He shot 7 of 19 from the field. Lately RJ Barrett's been struggling a bit from the field. Then we have Taj Gibson, 12 points, 4 rebounds, an assist, and 2 steals. And then we have Alex Burks, who also contributed with 14 points. And we had Obi Toppin, who had the chance going in Denver too. 11 points, 3 rebounds.
Obi at the foul line, like in Denver.
Yes, sir.
What?
And now we're gonna get to team stats. So as you know, without Mitch in the starting lineup, Denver killed the Knicks on the boards, 59 to 45.
Yeah.
Denver had 31 assists in the game, so they were passing the ball around. But I think this is the most damning stat for tonight's game: the fast break points.
Yep.
Denver was running amok on the Knicks, especially on the fast break. 21 to 8 fast break points.
Woof. Ridiculous. And it was crazy. This Denver Nuggets team really gave it to us. Scored 83 points at halftime. The most points the Knicks has ever given up at halftime this season. And I think it might be the most points the Knicks have ever given up. The second most points the franchise has ever given up in franchise history, I believe. And end up not able to stop these Denver Nuggets. But you know what? I'm not even gonna get into the bad news first. I'm gonna start off with something else. I'm going a complete different route, and I'm just gonna talk a little bit more about Julius Randle. All right, Because Julius Randle comes out today, and it's like another game where he's shooting over 50% from the field. Scores 28.6 assists, 10 rebounds on the night, 3 steals, and a turnover. 50% from the field, 37% from 3. Julius Randle on the road is seeming to find his game. And it's, you know what, Ryan? There's been a theory, right? There's been a theory that's been going around Knicks Nation. And the theory was, you know what? Randle was playing so well in the Garden because there was no fans. Right? It seems like mentally, and like Randle before December, he was kind of erratic. He caught COVID, had a few games off, came back, and then, he had a few. No, I'm sorry. December came, he had like a few games off, and he came back on Christmas. Felt like light spirited. He got some Thanksgiving, some Christmas chicken in the oven and macaroni and cheese, and he seemed happier. And when he seemed happier and he seemed carefree, he had a great game against the Hawks. Right?
Yeah.
Fast forward to now. I don't know, man. I feel like time away is what Randle needs. Randle has not been at the Garden with the booing, with the criticisms, with Mark Berman asking him crazy questions every 3 seconds. Like, he's been away from a lot of the drama that comes with being in MSG. And I'm starting to wonder, Ryan, if being away from MSG is clearing Randle's mind and getting it back to basketball and getting it back to the instincts, because this is the most confident I've seen him shoot the ball. This is the most confident I've seen him make decisions, and this just seems like he's looking like the Randle of old. And I'm hoping that this game travels from the road to home.
It's hard to pinpoint as to why all of a sudden there's a turnaround. I don't know if it's him being away from MSG or if it's just him having an epiphany of some sorts, and he's like, all of a sudden, like, he got his powers back, and he's like, oh, I can play ball again. So, I mean, I really don't know what it is, but all I'm saying is that I'm hoping that this is a permanent turnaround. I'm hoping that this carries over for the rest of the season, and but you have to give him his props. We've been hard on Randle all season because he's been underperforming, and his attitude hasn't been that great. But it seems like he's finally turned the corner, and, I'm going to give him his props. He's definitely been playing good as of late, and I just hope that he's able to continue as the season goes on.
Yeah, whether you're on Team Randle or team you want to trade him, Randle playing well is good either way. All right.
Yeah.
if you want to get rid of him playing well is good. Even if it's not this season, to be the all season. And if you want, so it's like there's no downside to Randle playing well. So hopefully he keeps it up. And I'm not gonna lie, maybe Randle's playing a little bit better. De'Aaron Fox might be in a Knicks uniform. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just saying because in news, I'm gonna deter away from the game breakdown for a second, because some big news happened in Knicks Nation just lately, and the news being that Sabonis, Jerry Lamb, 2 Lambs were traded for Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, and Tristan Thompson. Tyrese Halliburton, Ryan.
Yeah.
This chat and other people have been talking about Tyrese Halliburton. We should go after Tyrese Halliburton all season. Right?
Yeah.
There is no way in hell I would think the Kings would actually put him in a trade playing the way he's playing on a rookie contract on his 2nd year. That makes no sense whatsoever. I still can't believe that trade even went down. And go ahead.
No, I was just saying that it's shocking to me. Just correct the trade. It was Jeremy Lamb and Justin Holiday. I think Woj made that error when he posted the trade. So so it's Jeremy Lamb and Justin Holiday along with Sabonis to Kings. It's crazy because everybody thought that it would make, because I know they said the Kings they're still trying to win. They didn't say the Kings were trying to throw away the season and rebuild. But at the same time, it's like you have Halliburton, who you drafted last season. I think this season he's averaging almost 15 points a game, over 7 assists a game. He's shooting 41% from three. So he's been playing good this season, and you would have thought that, they could get more assets from trading De'Aaron Fox because they have a good point guard here, and De'Aaron Fox has a big contract, and you know that he's, all-star caliber point guard. Maybe you can get more for De'Aaron Fox and bring in some pieces to help out Halliburton. And the fact that like they traded Halliburton to bring in just Sabonis, that's what's crazy to me. I'm like,
Halliburton's
that's all it took.
Halliburton's value has been way higher, man. Like Halliburton's been balling over there. So I don't know if you're watching like King's Twitter. King's Twitter is having a hissy fit. They're burning things to the ground. They're cursing in front of their kids, throwing phones and food. It's bad over there. It's bad over there in King's Twitter, man. I still can't believe that they traded Halliburton in his second year of rookie contract to bring in Sabonis. That was the craziest trade I ever saw happen today.
For real, and it just makes me think, because now I'm like, the Knicks front office has to be incompetent if they did not know that the Kings were trying to trade Halliburton. Because I'm like, if the Kings had a choice and they're like Sabonis or Julius Randle, I don't blame them for being like, we'd rather Sabonis over Julius Randle based on how Julius Randle's been playing this season. He's only picked it up as of late.
Right.
Sabonis overall has had the better season, but I'm like, damn, the Knicks had to have been on this, because I'm like, the Knicks know they need a point guard. Clearly, like what we guessed was right. The Kings are looking for a big man that can score, because that's definitely what they went for. So I'm like, the Knicks had to be in on this, but it's just the Kings being like, we rather Sabonis over Randle.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, man. The Kings just wanted Sabonis over Randle. And at this point, Sabonis had a better year. You can't blame him. Last year's Randle, that might have been different. This year's Randle, I don't know. That probably would have lost us a trade, and it lost us Halliburton or whatever would be included in that trade package. So, I mean, it is what it is at this point. It is what this is point. I'm still hoping that Randle finds his little bit of mojo, because like I said, the more of our players that can play well at the same time, the better it is for us all together. If we keep him or trade him, if we keep him, it's gonna be better for us for the long run. If we trade him, it'll be better for us because their trade value will be higher, and we'll be able to actually make more moves involving less people. You know what I'm saying? That's all I got to say about that. So hopefully Randle keeps things moving forward. All right. Next thing, Evan Fournier. Another guy who I want to mention. Evan Fournier comes into the game, scores 12 straight points. 12 points in the first quarter. Floaters. 3-point shot. Playing defense. All over the place was Evan Fournier. Another guy who might not be here tomorrow, Ryan. Might not be here tomorrow, Ryan. I saw a rumor flying around for Evan Fournier was involved in trade scenarios. But before we even get to the rumors, what do you think about Evan Fournier's game today?
Yeah, Evan Fournier played well. His 3-point shot was definitely working today. He was pretty efficient from the 3-point line. He made some plays where he drove to the basket, like you said, floater, stuff like that. He showed decent effort on defense. He was getting burned a couple times by Barton, on a few plays, but Barton was burning pretty much everybody. So, but overall Fournier played good. I think he had a pretty good game tonight.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll say this thing about Evan Fournier too. I saw a rumor before Evan Fournier that said the Knicks offered Evan Fournier in the first rounder for Karis LeVert, which is interesting. At the 11th hour, and the trade did not go through. So that's letting you know what Evan Fournier's value is like. Especially that's crazy. I would think that would be enough for Karis LeVert. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would think it would be enough for Karis LeVert too. But to me, it's like that's a lateral move for me. Like I don't see that shifting the pendulum for the Knicks, so I'm glad that trade didn't go through because I don't see how that helps the Knicks.
You know what it is? I can see. I don't like the involvement of a first. If this is true, I don't like the involvement of the first round pick, right?
Exactly.
Because like with okay, Levert versus Evan Fournier, it's offense defense, right? Levert is not going to give you the threes, something you desperately needed because you see how erratic we are from three today. But on the defensive side, Levert is a way better defender than Fournier will ever be, and he's kind of like a Tom Thibodeau type of guy who can play that defensive role and kind of play make a little bit as well. You know what I'm saying? So, those rumors I had, I'm kind of with you, Ryan. I'm glad they didn't go through. I don't seconds. I'd rather give up some seconds for that. We got second round picks galore. Like we have so many second round picks, man. We just drove into that treasure chest. We're not gonna be able to use all these and draft all these second rounder guys. We're gonna have to consolidate some of these at one point or involve those on a trade. So I'm pretty glad that it didn't go through.
Yeah, and to me, like we already wasted well, let me not say waste because Cam Reddish remains to be seen. We have to see how he develops with the Knicks. But you already, pretty much wasted a first round pick on Cam Reddish. Like, I'm not trying to. I don't want to waste my first round picks on guys that are not going to shift the pendulum in the forward direction for the Knicks. Like, I want them to actually include first rounders with players where it's like we get this play and it's like, yes, this is a major improvement right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we're gonna get Levert, like, I'd rather throw in a second round pick or something like that in a trade like that. Not a first.
I agree. I want to use my first for game changers at this point. Really, that's how I want to do it for real. I'm mad I haven't seen any movement on Mo Bamba. I'm just saying, me personally. whatever. Come on, get on it, Knicks. We got until tomorrow at 3:00. All right.
Yes, sir.
Ultimately, man, we lost this game because the big man down under is just too big. He's just too big. When you have a guy like Jokic who's that big, who's that skilled, who can pass, who can abuse people in the post, and you have a guy in Taj Gibson who's like 6'9", and he's like 100 pounds less than he is, it makes it very hard on the Knicks to kind of guard him and recover. Like we guarded him one-on-one, he punches Taj and just abuses him under the baskets. We double, he passes it out to the 3-point shooters, and the 3-point shooters just score on us. Like every 3-point shooter today got off on these Knicks. Every single one of them. The Knicks weren't able to stop anybody, and this is a night when we really missed Mitch, and why he's valued. And you already seen some trade. You saw Detroit is interested in the Knicks. In the Knicks, I'm saying Detroit is interested in Mitch. But I also saw a rumor, Ryan, that stated that the Knicks plan on keeping Mitch and re-signing him during the summer. And today's game is a game where you realize how much we need him, because at least if Mitch was in there today, I think we would have been able to take away a little bit more. We would have at least been able to take away the deep post position that Jokic was getting.
Yeah, most definitely. With no Mitch there, Nuggets pretty much attacked the paint. Nobody was there to stop Jokic. Jokic took advantage of Taj Gibson. He took advantage of Jericho Sims.
Yeah. Yeah,
and and the Knicks were dominating on the boards, and the Nuggets scored at will. So I think on Twitter, I think it was Ariel, like he posted something that basically said that if he was Mitch's agent, he would go to the front office with this game as evidence to basically prove, his case as to why Knicks should keep him and he should be paid good money.
Yeah.
Because he was clearly missing this game, and look, they would end up dropping 132 on the Knicks.
I agree. I agree with you, man. I definitely agree with you. 132, and like, if Mitch was here, I don't know if we'd be able to win, because it still is going to be a tall order to beat these Denver Nuggets, but you at least would have slowed them down. That's apparently. And of course, we didn't even talk about the bench yet, but we're going to talk about the bench in a second, because this guy, my guy Joey, man, he's itching to get this call, and he's like, let me in, coach, put me in the game. He sounded like Miles McBride on the bench trying to get in his calls, man. Let's go. All right. First caller up, man. Let's go. Let us know what you want to talk about.
Hey, Jay Ellis, how's it going?
It's going all right, man. Long time no hear, bro.
Oh, man. Listen, I know you guys are talking a lot about Julius Randle, and I haven't been able to chime in about this whole Julius Randle thing yet, and I haven't actually given my opinion on it. But in my own opinion, I feel like a lot of things are done on TV for like a showing kind of thing, like almost like to create storylines in a sense, to like have something to talk about and make money off of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think Julius Randle is using this year as like his year to like, now think about it, like everybody knows who Julius Randle is now. They're like, oh, it's Julius Randle, the guy that's making trouble on the Knicks, right?
Right.
He's created an image in the NBA where now like he's a known player and can do whatever he wants, you know? Like the Knicks are going to want to keep him around. He's in commercials, TV, all that stuff already. I don't think Julius Randle's going anywhere. And I think a lot of this stuff that we see on TV is just PR, man. And he knows that this season's going to be a flop, and it gives him an extra season to get ready for what they're trying to do. They're trying to build around him and win a championship. But that's how I see it. That's how I see this whole Julius Randle thing. I think it's just all like noise. It's all smoke in the woods, you know. It doesn't matter. All this stuff about Julius Randle wanting to leave the team, I think he's just pissed off that it's been a bad season, you know. But
right.
He is a hothead. He is a big hothead, and he will get mad, and if someone does something wrong, he'll say something. So anything they'll try to say that he's doing something wrong in the huddles, he's not being a leader. Listen, man, I think it's just a matter of them not winning, and they're losing. So it's like hard to be optimistic when you're not a winning basketball team. That's how I see it.
So what you're saying is you feel like the media is feeding into the Julius Randle drama, and you feel like he wants to stay? Is that what you're saying ultimately?
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
I mean,
go
ahead.
The whole thing about it is, though, dude, you have to be very honest to yourself. It's TV. At the end of the day, this is still like for entertainment for people. So always remember that.
You know what? I will say New York media is New York media. They're gonna pick
how
on
you doing?
any.
It's always to get eyes on the prize, baby.
We all know that. New York media is New York media. If Julius Randle kicks a fire hydrant, a la Amari Stoudemire, right?
Well, Jazz,
they're gonna report it. They're gonna hold on.
What do you think about everything that happened with Julius Randle in the huddle, throwing the laptop and getting all the guys upset, hitting Evan Fournier and getting in all these little fights? Do you think this is something that like has anything to do with him, or is just like the team just falling apart because it's not winning?
I'm gonna say this: the media will blow up anything that Julius Randle does. That is absolutely the truth. But what is also the truth is Julius Randle is emotional as hell, like super emotional. He has trouble controlling his anger. It's apparent. It's apparent by the way he's flipping computers over. It's apparent by the way he's slapping Evan Fournier's hand. Like, he's a passionate guy. He's a guy who is a hard worker off the floor. It seems like it hasn't always translated on the floor, but at the same but also because he's so all over the place emotionally, I don't feel like he's a real leader for the team. He might be the best player, the most talented, naturally at this point. Maybe RJ will surpass him at that point. It seems like he's about to. But to me, he's not the leader for this team. And ultimately, for the Knicks to get somewhere, so ascend to another level, we're going to need an emotional leader somewhere down the line. I still remember Kevin Garnett able to challenge people and check them. Yeah, we need somebody who's going to gather the troops and calm them down. I was hoping Kemba would do something like that, but Kemba isn't playing enough to even do that right now, and his knees are shot.
That role has to be Julius Randle, man. He's the one that's getting all the money.
I mean,
think about it. They paid him so much. They're thinking about having him for 4 years, the next 4 years. Think about that. Do you think anyone's going to take that money, man, to trade him? Like, I don't think so. They're not trading him. There's no way.
But there's
I see Julius Randle being a Knick for like the next 3-4 years. They're not trading his contract. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, I just want to throw in this right quick. We do talk about trade scenarios, but I think I think a lot of us knew that Julius Randle wouldn't be traded during this trade deadline. So we know that, Julius Randle is going to stay here for the foreseeable future. But I'll say this, though. Winning does cure everything. I'm pretty sure if the Knicks were winning, Julius Randle wouldn't be having these attitude fits and all that stuff.
Absolutely.
But I feel like at the same time, though, a true leader is not rattled by losses like that.
Right.
He's able to hold his emotions in check and not act out like that. And the fact that Julius Randle is not able to handle losing and acting out and stuff of that nature, yeah, like I agree with JL. It's like he can't be the leader of a team if he's going to act like that. If things go bad, things are not going to go good all the time. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So yeah, that's my sentiment on it.
And I'm gonna add on top of that too. Your the player that makes the most money on your team doesn't necessarily have to be the emotional leader. That's not how it is on every team. Like some teams have the benefit of the doubt of having your best player being the emotional leader. But there's teams like the Boston Celtics, right? The Boston Celtics, they had Paul Pierce on that team for a long time. He gets joined by Kevin Garnett and Rajon Rondo years later. Kevin Garnett was the emotional leader on that team, even though Paul Pierce was the guy who was getting the final shot and things of that nature. So you see what I'm saying? So even though Julius is here and he can have the talent, you hope we either draft somebody who becomes the emotional leader. Maybe we just hope RJ takes that next step, or he's taking better shots and he's able to take more command of the team and get the respect, or somebody else gets in here who can kind of corral this team if Julius Randle is here years to come. Because like you said, like we know he's not gonna. We figure he's not gonna be moved by the trade deadline, especially with the Halliburton news that just happened. But you just never know, man. You just never know. All right. Next caller up. We got Big Reaper on the phone.
Hey, what's up, fellas? How you guys doing?
What's going on, man?
Hey, man, what's good?
Man, I'm doing right. Kind of a rough night. Actually had to crack a bottle open just for tonight.
Yeah, man.
Post the game. So.
Yeah, grab your beers.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I mean, it was like, there was, I'm glad they were able to fight. They try to fight back. They didn't give up. They had some pride. So you got to like that, just trying to be optimistic. Julius, he had a good game, in terms of being efficient. I didn't see how much what he shot today, but I think he was he close to 50% today again?
He was 50%.
50%, yeah.
I'm gonna bring up the stats right now on
Yeah.
YouTube. 28 points, 50%, 11 from 22, 3 of 8 from 3, 6 assists, 10 rebounds, 3 steals, 1 turnover.
Yeah. And it just, the problem with it is just, the chemistry just didn't work. Obviously, we've said it over and over again. We just screwed up in the off season. And, but, they tried to play hard today, which was good. Mitch didn't play today. I had a feeling that was going to happen. He played 36 minutes, 10 minutes in the fourth quarter. And, the thing with Tibbs, look, he's a good coach. Don't get me wrong. He's a very good coach. I'm not on the fire train, fire Tibbs train. I'm not on that train at all.
Right.
But I just wish Tibbs could stop digging a hole. It's almost like because he won't play the young kids early enough in the season, especially with McBride, he digs himself into a hole. Sort of the same thing with Sims, but I'm not a huge fan of Sims. Because he just gets so lost on the defensive end sometimes.
Me too.
He stays so focused on his man. Sometimes the ball will be whizzing right past him, and he just doesn't even see it, And so, so it's, I'm not a big fan of Sims either because he's lost on the defensive end, and then he's a horrible defensive rebounder, and maybe he gets better over time, but it's just one of those things. I don't think he should have played Mitchell Robinson that many minutes. Once he saw Nerlens was having issues, you lost the game anyway. You know you're not going to beat any of these teams.
Right, just
go albeit the 5.
Right.
Do something else.
I feel you.
He played Mitchell. Yeah, it's just like he just keeps digging a hole. He just keeps digging a ditch and he keeps digging deeper and deeper because we keep getting backed up. Like, things happen and like because he wants to win so bad and he's not thinking about tomorrow. And I get it. You want to do everything you can to win the ball game, but you have to keep in mind all big men that have injury issues, they never play them over 30 minutes a game anymore in the NBA.
Yeah,
they don't. You look at Miles Turner, you look at Rudy Gobert, none of them play over 30 minutes a game, like ever. Maybe you might see them play 33 minutes, 31 maybe in emergency. But
I'm giving tips a bro right now. I'm giving the kids a bro right now. Here you go, Ryan. Bro pick for today. For guys who are new, I don't know if you're watching, you're new to the show. This thing called this thing on the show we have bro picks, right? Bro picks are the worst plays of the week or just dumb decisions that happen in the world and life or even on a basketball court. And my bro today is for Tibbs playing RJ in garbage time.
Yep.
And RJ ends up tweaking his ankle with 30, 40 seconds left in the game?
Bruh.
And makes it down 16.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I turned off the game like 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
That happened?
Yeah.
Oh
I don't know how good or bad the tweak is. It looked like he was trying to walk off on his own power. Like it looked like he was working off his own power, but he was hobbling. But those are the things that piss me off with Tiz when it's like the game is over, you still have the starters in there. I'm just like, why is RJ still in the game? Like, and those are the things that we complained about with Tibbs. You pick the wrong times to play the wrong players. Like, come on now.
Yeah, I just don't get it. He just keeps digging a hole every time. I don't know why he does it. It's like now, hopefully RJ is going to be fine. But RJ played 43 minutes last night, and they know they had to do a back-to-back. I really just don't get it. I don't know why, he just keeps, it feels like he's just like, he can't help himself. So,
yeah.
But, I'm glad Julius Randle, he's 3 games in a row. He's playing better. So, we'll see. I mean, this is a tough stretch. I don't know when was the last time we beat Denver. It's probably
2006.
5 years.
Yeah, 2006, yeah.
2006?
Yep.
Yeah, in Denver.
Last time we beat Denver in Denver was 2006.
So, I mean, they've been killing us, for a decade now. So, I mean, like, I knew we probably weren't going to win it. And it's and then with Mitchell Robinson out, and you needed Mitchell Robinson tonight, and you played him 36 minutes and 10 minutes in the fourth quarter.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah,
man.
So.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But in terms of the one thing that's really I know I've been saying it a lot, but so I looked up the defensive stats for the whole year because I've been seeing it like little by little. I just noticed it only like a few weeks ago. Basically defensive field goal percentage by players, and notice like RJ always basically contested the most shots and was the most effective, and but yeah, for the year it's crazy. For the year, he's the best defender that we have on the team. Essentially, if you're talking about opponent field goal efficiency.
Okay.
I mean, Emmanuel Quickly and D Rose are below 40%, but you can't really count them that much because D Rose haven't played very much, and Emmanuel Quickly, he only plays like 10, 15 minutes a game, so you can't really count them. And like I was saying before, we were really struggling. Obviously, it's Kemba Walker, Nerlens Noel, Evan Fournier. And so, that's where we're really struggling. And Alec Burks. Alec Burks tries, but he's not horrible. He's actually like at 45%. Like when it comes to contesting like opposing offensive players. So it's not horrendous. But
you bring it up so much. We got to bring up. I'm about to pull up the stats for one show. I mean, I'm gonna have all the defensive contested shots one show. But for real. Thanks for calling, though, Reaper. Thanks for calling me. I appreciate you calling all the time, sir.
All right, you guys have a good night.
All right,
you too, man.
Man. Yeah. Man, one thing else I want to talk about too is the bench unit, man. The bench unit. It was a tale of two benches, right? The bench unit comes out of here. First of all, Obi Toppin, he starts off aggressive as hell.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking this is the Obi Toppin I always wanted to see. He's putting people on the post. He's turning over the shoulder. He driving to the basket. I loved seeing what I saw from Obi, but quickly was struggling once again. Not even just shooting, because he first of all quickly shot 2 for 9 today, 22%. But in the first half, it's not just the shooting when you're the point guard, you're running the team. It was the way he was running the team. He was not getting the team into the proper offense. And I don't know, man. It's for the second night in a row, it seems like the bench is the one that kind of let us down. Because the starters, Ryan, were actually winning. We were up 4 when the starters. We were up 4 when our starters were playing the Nugget starters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Quickly's just been struggling lately. He's definitely been going through a rough stretch, not just in shooting, but also in point guard play. And I just feel like at this point, like the Knicks better hope and pray Derrick Rose comes back towards the end of February, because he's desperately needed. And maybe Quickly just needs that guy he can play along, where he's not forced to have all the point guard duties.
Yeah.
So he could try to like get back into his flow, with shooting the ball and things of that nature. Have somebody else run the point guard duties with them in the backcourt, because right now he's really struggling, and it's part of the reason why I say that it's magnified that the Knicks need a point guard, because besides the fact that Kemba's not playing good, Quickly is supposed to be that guy that's supposed to step up and show that he can possibly take over that role, but he's been struggling lately, and as a result, the bench play has gone down.
Right. And I've been reading like some rumors about who can be available at point guard, because I really don't think we're going to be able to solve this point guard problem at the deadline. But I was reading a Fred Katz article, and he was talking about like another stopgap guard. Like DJ Augustine might be bought out, and maybe we pick him up or something like that. So like our options are going to be low. I don't know if we're going to be solving them right now. If we're not going to be solving them, we're going to have to try to figure something out quickly, or McBride or something. I don't expect Kemba. Like, I don't know what moves will be made. Trade deadline tomorrow at 3:00. I don't expect Kemba to be here. Even if we don't make any other move, the one move I think we're going to make is either trading Kemba for like a second rounder or 2, or buying him out. I feel like that's going to be in our future, especially for real. All right, and kudos to Quickly. He got into the paint at will in that fourth quarter. It was apparent that the Tom did not trust the bench at all in the third quarter. The starters played the entire third quarter. By the end of the third quarter, the starters looked gassed. And Randle, I don't know how he got it together. Randle was still hitting shots, but he looked like his stamina was hanging on by a thread. So it was like the bench comes in the fourth quarter. They make a push. They cut it to 13. And it kind of reminds you, it kind of like snaps you back into place. It's like, all right, these kids are still kind of kids. They're still trying to figure it out. And they will eventually. They're going to have their ups and downs. But it was a big down moment today. But I'm glad that Quickly was able to figure out how to move the ball offensively. But at the end of the day, him hitting shots is still the skill that is most needed. And it was time to hit shots at the end. He was missing all the open threes that he was hitting last season, and we're going to need him to hit shots and his bench to hit shots for us to have any chance of winning. All right.
Yeah, most definitely, yeah.
All right, next caller up, we got Jason from the Lower East Side. Jason, let us know what you want to talk about, sir.
What's up, fellas?
What's going on?
Hey, man, it's good.
I'm back. I was on vacation the last 2 weeks. I actually didn't even watch the Knicks play. I did that on purpose, just so I could.
So welcome back. We was working when you was on vacation, Jason. We was working, all right?
I just didn't watch the games because I was like, I don't want to be pissed off while I'm on vacation.
I feel you.
Just make sure you turn down the volume in the background, all right?
Oh, I got background noise?
I thought I did. I thought I heard something. Maybe
yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay, you good? All right, cool.
So my question is this, because a lot of the latest rumors is that like no one really wants our vets. I mean, maybe we can move Burks, but a lot of people have been saying like, oh, we wait till Thursday, and after Thursday they're gonna change. And I'm just like, let's say we don't really get to move the vets because we can't really get any offers for them. What's gonna happen? Like, is Leon Rose gonna actually go to Tibbs and say, listen, Tibbs, stop playing all these vets. You have to change your rotation. Or is he just going to say, Tibbs, do whatever you want? Like, what do you guys think is going to happen? I'm worried that nothing's going to actually change.
Oh, man. I don't know, man. This is what I've been reading, right? I'm reading Fred Kratz from The Athletic. I know I actually subscribe to The Athletic so I can get some information. So I paid my good money to get some. And he pretty much wrote that Burks is our most tradable chip, that teams are interested in Burks. But as you've heard from these Knicks, they're not interested in trading Burks for like a pick or something. You know what I'm saying? They're interested in trading Burks in conjunction with another vet to make some type of 2-for-1 move to free up time for Cam Reddish in the background. So even though there is interest in Burks, I'm not sure if teams are going to want to, or if we're willing to trade Burks for like a pick or something. I don't know what offers out there. So we're gonna have to wait and see what happens. So. Even though it doesn't seem heavy right now, something could still happen by the trade deadline. What it is, I'm not sure, but something can definitely still happen. So if nothing happens, then if nothing happens, then Leon might have to break code, because here's the code, right? The code is, I am the GM. I run the team. You're the coach. I don't teach you to coach. That's been the order of things. That's the way the Knicks and the organization have been doing it. If we're unable to move veterans, they might have to break code and be like, hey, man, we need to give these kids minutes. They might have to come down from on high.
A lot of people have been saying the reason why he has to play the vets is because you have to get their trade value up. Well, if their trade value sucks and we've been playing them all the time, clearly that's not working. So, like, what's the justification then?
I don't know. I don't know. Like, it might be too little too late, I guess. Because, like, man, I was hoping, I'm thinking, in my mind, I'm thinking Evan Fournier might be tradable now, but, I guess his contract is still a little bit steep for a lot of teams. So they might be shying away from it, but maybe, who knows, once we get traded, you know what, once options start drying up closer to 3 o'clock, teams get more desperate for shooting and things, then maybe a move will be able to come alive at the trade deadline. So you just never know in this league, man. You never know what's going to happen.
The thing what I'm worried about with Fournier is that the teams that like would be desperate, they can't really trade anything. Like, for instance, we know the Lakers are desperate for shooting.
Absolutely.
If the Lakers like had players they could trade for Fournier, they would trade for him in a second.
Yeah.
But like, they really don't. And I mean, it's the same thing. It's a similar thing with like the Bucks. The Bucks, I don't know if they want Fournier, but I'm just saying, let's say they did. Unless they trade Brook Lopez, they don't really have the salary to trade.
True.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of the real good teams that I think would be like, hey, we could use his shooting. I don't know if they could trade for him. And then the other teams, I don't know. I'm just, today was a rough day for Knicks fans, because like, even if you weren't big on the CJ McCollum thing, some people thought about it. That was gone. And then when the Pacers Kings trade happened, it basically acts like 5 potential trades that the Knicks could have done.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Just killed everything.
The Fox trade is dead.
Yep. Miles Turner dead. Yep.
I don't know if the Harrison Barnes thing, I don't really know if anyone really wanted Harrison Barnes anyway. But like the whole them getting Randle for anyone, that's probably dead, because I don't think the Kings want Randle anymore.
Nope.
Miles Turner trade might be dead.
Yep.
Like, that killed a lot of things.
Yep.
So just rough. I mean, we'll see. And then all the news that now nobody wants any of the Knicks vets is rough days for Knicks fans. And I don't really think much is going to happen on Thursday. Yeah, they might. I hope they could trade Kemba and Burks and I don't know another one, but I'm not getting my hopes up. That's all I'll say.
I feel you.
I think there's been no rumors or anything. Like, this is just me just looking at the moves made and thinking what might happen. Because now I'm thinking about the Pacers, because it seems like the Pacers are in sell mode, and they just brought in Halliburton. it might lead me to believe that Brogdon might be available. Maybe.
Yeah, but he can't be traded to the offseason.
Yeah, but like I said, like he's hurt, and I don't know, and you don't. A team's not gonna really trade for a player that's hurt like that, and you don't know when Brogdon's gonna return.
Yeah, he can't be traded to the offseason.
Oh, he can't be traded to the offseason?
Yeah, he can't be traded to the offseason.
That's exactly who the Knicks would have pivoted to, but they can't.
Okay.
Yeah, they can't be traded.
I mean, the idea, maybe one of the best options the Knicks could do is prepare to go after Brunson or Brogdon in the offseason. But who knows? What if they want to keep Brogdon? Because he could play the two.
That is true.
That's definitely true. And I definitely saw the Harrison Barnes rumor. And here's the thing about that. I can see the Knicks doing that, man. I can see the Knicks doing that.
I can too, actually. Now that you say it, I can see this. This is the one deal that makes sense in my brain. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I just, this is the stuff I do because I'm crazy.
Right.
And the Dallas first.
I would do, man.
I
hope they don't.
I think
the only way it gets done. The Kings are not trading him for what? For Fournier and Burks?
For Fournier and Burks, I mean, Fournier is $17 million. Burks is. Oh, I have the contracts on here. Hold on.
It's like 8 or 9, 8.5, I think.
Hold on, I'm gonna bring it up. I got. Hold on.
Yeah, it works because I think Barnes is 25, right? He's making $25 million.
Roughly.
Let's see. Yeah, Burks is 9.5.
And Fournier is 17. Yeah,
Fournier is 17. So that gives you around $27 million. And like I said, the last year Fournier's contract is a team option that expires in 2025. And for Burks, team option is in 2024. So if we're looking at Barnes' contract,
Fritz just said it's 21 mil. So Knicks, it might be a little bit over for the Knicks.
Yeah,
he's only making 20 million? I thought he was making 21 mil. Oh, that's better then.
My whole thing is, I think if the Knicks make that move, I think it's going to be more of a money dump because I think Harrison Barnes is a free agent after next season.
Yeah, he's a free agent after next season.
Yes, I think if the Knicks make that move, it's more because they were trying to shed, a long-term contract like either Fournier or Randle. That's what I would think. No,
yeah,
maybe. I'm just throwing names out there. Like, of course, Kings are not going to go after Randle because they get the bonus. But I'm just saying that it's going to be to shed a big contract. That's what I would believe. The only reason they go after Barnes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only reason I even brought up that one trade is because if you did that trade, it would clear up like the wing, some of the wing depth. Like I don't know, it would clear up minutes in the wings. But it's not going to happen. I was just thinking about it. Randomly.
Yeah, I'm not seeing how this can work unless. Especially because it seems like Barnes' contracts is shorter than both of ours, so I don't see how it's gonna work unless like we're taking on some other contract that's longer later or something like that. I'm not sure how it will work. To be honest with you,
I'm gonna go to ESPN trade machine right quick.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think they're. I don't know. I'm stuck. We'll see.
We'll see, man. We'll see, man. I know we got the capologist there working. We got the capologist there working, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to see a trade that would probably work.
Yeah, exactly. Because if Harrison Barnes' years are shorter than our years, then there's no reason for the Kings to even do that trade. You know what I'm saying? So I would hang up the phone.
Yeah, that's why you would have to give a pick. Like you would. He has value. Harrison Barnes, like other teams want him.
Yeah, he plays defense. He plays defense, so I can see why Tibbs would want him. He plays defense.
You know, it's funny because I just used the trade machine. Actually, Barnes for Fournier works straight up.
But that's
So they said that. I don't know if the Jake Fisher rumor is true that the Knicks were trying to get LeVert, but what if they offer the same package for Barnes?
I don't want to do that, man. I do not want to give a first round.
I'm just saying I can see them doing it. That's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to predict what I want them to do. I'm just trying to predict what I think they might do. Because if you could do that, then you could put him at the 3, and you could put RJ at the 2, and you got like a real defensive unit that Tibbs actually probably would like. I don't know what it means for the rest of the players, but I'm just saying.
I feel exactly what you're saying. I do what you mean. It just goes against, like, it works, but giving up a pick to get to that, giving up a pick to get rid of a player that we just signed a few months ago, it's just and on top of that, we're still in the same situation as was before, because we still need another roster spot for Cam Reddish. And the rumor is we trying to clear up a roster spot for Cam Reddish. If we're only getting rid of one person and bringing back one person, then we're still in the same situation as before. So
yeah.
So it just seems like that move. I just feel like it seems like there was something else would have to be involved for the Knicks to want to do that.
Yeah, I think one thing that's clear is I do think that they're pretty much out on Fournier.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I feel like they are too. I agree. I gotta agree with you there. I gotta agree with you there, man.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah. Thanks, yo. Thanks for calling in, man.
Yeah, I know it was kind of a depressing call, but that's
I know. We need it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I had to hit the gunshots just cause I was like,
exactly.
dang. Just to cheer myself up, cause like, man, what are we gonna do?
Exactly. Knicks Nation, be prepared. No.
Are you guys doing shows? Are you guys doing shows for the deadline or something?
I was thinking about that. We probably end up doing a show tomorrow. You down for that, Ryan? Probably.
Yeah, I'll be down. Yeah.
Probably done with. Well, I gotta work tomorrow, but so it's not gonna be during the deadline. Cause I don't know these other guys.
Not tomorrow.
Well, the deadline is Thursday.
Oh,
so,
it's Thursday. Yo,
yeah.
See how my brain is going? Why do I think tomorrow is Thursday?
So wait. So are we doing two? Are we doing two shows? Because the Knicks face the Warriors on Thursday as well.
Yeah, that's late though.
That's a back.
Right? What time are they playing the Warriors?
That's a doubleheader for real.
Yeah, well, Warriors are gonna be like 10 o'clock game. That's a late game.
Yeah. I ain't calling in that night.
Oh my gosh. I guess we might have to. What are you feeling? Should we do a deadline, Anna? I feel like that's what the streets want. They want a doubleheader.
Probably gonna have to, especially if the Knicks do end up making a move.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to cover it, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you heard it here first. Back to backer. Thursday doubleheader. Thursday, we're doing a trade deadline show and a actual show. And then Friday, I'm about to call in sick for work now.
Facts.
Marion's going around. All right. All right, yo. Thanks for calling in, man.
All right.
Whew. Yeah, trade deadline news. It's a doozy. Who knows what the hell Knicks is going to do, man. Yo, anything else you want to mention about this game? I feel like we talked about. Let's see, RJ turned back into a pumpkin around the rim. He couldn't finish around the rim. It seemed like he should have just been chucking threes today because he shot well from three.
Yeah, pretty much. I just think RJ was tired because there was this one play too where I was like, I think it kind of like showed his tiredness because I think the Knicks had a 2-on-1 with Evan Fournier, and Evan Fournier passed RJ the ball at the rim, and my man didn't even go up with it at the same time. He caught the ball, he kind of paused a bit, and then like when he went up with, when he finally went up with it, that's when Eric Gordon blocked his shot. I was like, oh come on, RJ.
Yeah. It wasn't the brightest moment. Definitely wasn't the brightest moment. I also feel like he was getting frustrated because he was going to the rim and he kept getting blocked. I mean, he kept getting hit, and he wasn't getting any calls, so I think that was kind of frustrating him too. That's just me, though.
Yeah.
And Cam Reddish, man. The defense looked a little bit more solid today, at least in the second half with the second unit. But it feels like the shots he took weren't good ones. And I think he might be getting frustrated because it doesn't seem like he's getting open or doesn't know how to get open or know how to get in quickly fill the vision. I think he's still trying to figure out like the chemistry that's going on with this second unit. I mean, so like he hasn't really been able to get any clean 3-point looks at all. The shots that I seen him take were like out of rhythm, 2 feet behind the 3-point line. It seems like he's a little bit lost on the offensive end today.
Yeah, he took that one terrible three in the fourth quarter when the Knicks trying to make a comeback, and the three were like wide, like left or wide, right, something like that.
Yeah.
But I think overall, here's the thing with Reddish though, because, and I want to see him do it more often because I see that he has the ability to drive to the basket and get into the lane, but like it's kind of like he doesn't go all the way a lot of times. Like he'll drive. And sometimes I'll see that he has the advantage on the defender where if he goes all the way, he can finish at the rim, but then he ends up like passing the ball or something like that. So I think one thing I would like to see Cam Reddish do more often is actually drive to the basket and finish because he has the ability to do so.
Right. But I think it's going to take some time for him to get used to playing and even just getting touches and for the team to find where to give him the ball in general. But we'll see what happens. We'll see. Grimes might be back. Who knows how long the sore knee is going to last, so he might get another shot to make an impact on Thursday. Next caller up, I see we got JT on the line. You got everybody's up late tonight.
For real.
Yeah. JT, we need the energy today, man. What's good? What's good, man?
Hey, man, I'm here for the energy. So first thing first, we just gonna look. The game was what the game was. We already know. we need to elaborate on that. RJ didn't really have the best game, but I guess the best thing we could see is that everybody got some playing time. So it is what it is with that. As far as the trade conversation, man, like I've been saying all season, I don't really see no real like productive trade that we can make right now that's really going to like catapult us to where we want to be.
Yeah.
Like maybe the De'Aaron Fox thing is probably like something because he's young and it's like that's a commitment. So we're committed to, as far as the whole, what was I going to say, getting a new point guard, a young point guard.
That's done. That's done. That's done. Once they traded Halliburton. Once the Halliburton trade happened, that means De'Aaron Fox is the guy now, so they're not going to trade him.
He think, but that's what I said. That's the only one. I ain't gonna lie. I probably threw something out when I saw the Halliburton trade go through.
Yeah, I think everybody did.
I was like, I said that was a trade that should have been ours. That was the one trade that I was like, okay, we should have at least been able to. We should have at least been able to get that because that's something we could have. Because we got our point guard, but we don't have it. I think realistically, I see Knicks Nation burning everything to the ground because Knicks Twitter burning everything to the ground because I don't think nothing's going to happen. And I think that's actually a good thing now that happens because it gives us the whole season to play out so we can finally make all of the moves during the off season. Because right now, trade deadline, everybody's desperate. Everybody's trying to like quickly make and do a quick flip. So we probably might end up overpaying for somebody that we really shouldn't. Versus in the off season, it's like, okay, we can really we can let these guys' value go up or, whatever. I just think it's more time because I don't really see any real good trade unless it's something that will catch all of us by surprise.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see nothing really good out there for us to take advantage of. I just see us making them. It's simply we're just making a move just for the fact to make a move.
Yeah, I kind of feel you. I guess everybody's worry is just that are the young guys going to get burned? That's really what the worry is. That's really why everybody's talking about. Like, are the young guys going to get burned? That's the only reason. That's the only reason why anybody even wants to trade deadline. But I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, I know. I that's my same concern too. But like I said, until we are mathematically out of the race, don't hold your breath. That's just they're gonna come and go like the way we did today, depending on health. That's just my opinion on it. So,
right.
But other than that, like I said, I ain't really here for no tantrums and spasms and all that stuff. It is what it is. Like I said, as always, all 82, all the energy, calling in every show. Yeah! I'm out. So y'all like, subscribe, all of that stuff. These guys working hard. They hit every time. They hit every game.
Facts.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Agree. Shout out to my guy, JT. I see Rodney says, can Toronto give us anything? They can give us
Dragic.
Dragics. which I'm hearing that Dragic is possibly gonna be bought out, and he's not gonna just walk to the Knicks if he gets bought out. He's going somewhere else.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's not going to Toronto to come join the Knicks for like I don't. Yeah. So I forgot where I heard he said he was gonna go. Maybe the Bucks. I don't remember, but he's not coming to the Knicks. All right. All right. All right. Kemba Walker was averaging 19 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds last year. Yeah. Yeah. Dragic wants to go to Miami. Oh, well, yeah, that makes sense. That absolutely makes sense. Dragic, yeah, that makes sense. Dragic, yeah, rejoin Miami for a championship run. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I can see that happening.
Back of Kyle Lowry.
Kyle Lowry. All right. All right. Cool. You know what? That's our show today, man. I feel like we talked about everything we really need to talk about. This bench needs to step up once again. They showed some push later, but we need them to step up, and hopefully Derrick Rose comes back and saves the day. Cam Reddish, I'm hoping he finds his niche with these New York Knicks. I'm hoping Julius Randle is real and he takes his game from on the road to at home, and I'm hoping RJ Barrett's ankle is fine for Thursday, and he can shake off the rust from today's game. All right. That is our show. Ryan, let them know where they can find you, sir.
You can find me on Instagram at Sir G is Chillin'.
Sir G is chilling.
That's SIRG is CHILLIN. You can also find me on Instagram, Sir G's Corner, where I post videos talking about the Knicks or something else in sports. That's SIRG SCORNER. And you can also find me on Twitter at RyanGKOT.
That's a fact. That's a fact. You already know you can find us, man. You can find us at the KOT Show on Twitter, the Nick of Time Show on Instagram, and Nick of Time Show on Facebook. Also, check out the new article written by Ken, who pretty much says everything is Julius Randle's fault. That's pretty much the gist of the article. But Ken always writes good stuff. He always connects to that. So definitely check out the new article written by our guy, Editor-in-Chief of Nick of Time Show, Ken. All right. And also, as you know, man, it was funny. I was watching cable, right? And they was like, are you tired of Comcast? Did they only give you $3 measly after they canceled your MS3? Go get your money from Comcast now. I saw a commercial and I started crying, jocking up, laughing. I was like, man, Comcast is screwing people over. But since Comcast is screwing people over for people who watch MSG, alternative people who's having problems with Comcast, or if you just want to switch cable providers and not use cable at all, go to Fubo TV. They have MSG. There's no blackouts, and there are no contracts. You can play month to month, and once the season stops, you can stop paying if you want, and then you can bring it back when the season starts again. So you already know what to do. Hit that link at the bottom. So if you want to watch, that's in the chat. If you want to go to Fubo TV and start your subscription, also there's a link in the description below for Fubo TV, and also everything else for Twitter, Facebook, and all things of that nature. All right, that is our show. And as always, Ryan,
shout out the Worldwide West. Everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide mess.
It's a mess out here. All right, that is our show. We out of here.